All right, so like the title says, today we're going to be opening up a Virtual Boy. Now, I never owned a Virtual Boy because when they came out, I believe it was, I don't know, 96 or 7, somewhere around there, maybe 95. I just didn't have any money. Didn't have a job, was too young, and so I didn't have the means to purchase one, and neither did my parents. They weren't. I think they had just maybe picked up a Nintendo 64 for Christmas, so there was no way that we were going to get a Virtual Boy in addition to the Nintendo 64. I mean, that was like our big one Christmas gift. And so I never owned one. I always saw them, and the kiosk was pretty cool looking. I think I seen one of those on eBay for around 10 grand. It was pretty awesome. But anyways, so I always wanted one. I always thought they're cool. And so I found this one on eBay. So I always like to have some cleaning wipes. Just I like to clean everything when I unbox it, and I plan on keeping it, and so I want to just go ahead and get it all cleaned up from the get go. Get it out of the way. That way, when I do take it out to play with it, it's all clean, it's nice, it's neat, it's ready to go. And so this one I found on eBay. I think I may have paid 300 for it. They had it for around 400, and I may have sent him an offer, or maybe he had it for 380 and I sent him an offer for 300 and he accepted it. And this one looked really clean. It came in the box, which collecting, I do like to have the original boxes, as much of the original packing contents as possible. Now, it's not always, doesn't always work out that way. And if I can kind of piece it together, I don't mind doing it that way either. But if I can get it all in one lot at the beginning for a decent amount, then that's ideal to do. And so this one looked really good. It looked really clean. The Virtual Boys, a lot of them on eBay, they just look beat. They have scratches all over them. The eyepieces are gone. They're just torn to shreds. I mean, it does seem like a pretty delicate system, and so finding them in good to really good condition is pretty rare. And so I go through cycles where I'll be looking for something like the Virtual Boy, and I'll get on eBay and I'll look around, and I won't see anything that nice enough or that I want to go after. And so I'll kind of put it on the back burner. I'll rotate it to the back, and I'll just kind of go on to the next thing I'm looking for or looking at, and eventually I'll get back to the top of the order, and it may be a month or 2 months or longer than that, and then I'll finally remember, hey, let's look for that Virtual Boy. And sometimes it just works out that there's a deal, or there's a really, really, really nice one. And so this one, I felt like worked out that way. The sticker was a promotion for the Virtual Boy. And so this one did still have the Duracell sticker on there on the front, and there's the tape. I don't know if that's what that was. Who knows what went on there, but that's the worst part of the box, I'd say. And so it may have had, I always take the you see I got the Lysol wipes right there. Now I don't douse them, or I mean, this box is super old, and I don't want to rub the colors off, or rub it to where it's destroyed or discolored or anything like that, to get that little bit of film, little bit of, maybe this thing was, I mean, you can see it right there. It's kind of, it's actually is very dirty. And so I don't go over it too hard. Like I said, I don't want to remove or destroy the thing. I mean, I guess if it came to having a dirty box or having it destroyed from wiping it down like that, I'd take the dirty box. But I just ran over it really lightly with the Lysol wipes, and it's still glossy. It's still in good condition. It didn't ruin it at all or discolor it at all, or but once you kind of stop pulling up dirt from a side, I'll just move on to the next one and go over the whole thing. And I just like the box is so awesome, man. I love the 3D colors, the zoom in, the close-ups, it's a lot different than the Japanese box, which I believe is just solid. It's cool too. The Japanese box is very cool too, but I think it's just solid black, and it might have the Virtual Boy. See in my hands there, I'm kind of like, what happened here? Oh no. But the Japanese one, I think, just has the Virtual Boy on the front of it. So it's cool, like the black, the red. Looks very cool. But I definitely dig the American version of the box. I don't know. It just, the 3D, you got the red and the blue, obviously, for the 3D glasses from the 80s or 90s, which I think is super. I don't know if you can, if the box, I guess I just thought of this right now, but if you had a pair of 3D glasses and you put them on and looked at this box, would it look like 3D, like you were looking at something on a piece of paper that would like pop out at you, or not? Or if the red and the blue is just purely design, cosmetic? I'm gonna have to find some 3D glasses and see if anything happens there. I'm just gonna finish wiping it down, and this one also, I believe, still has the serial warranty information card still. Well, some of it, there it is. This has some of the proof of purchase serial card. I always love seeing those things too. On the Super Nintendo box, the Game Boy box, this one, I think some of the 64. I wonder what. So I've seen some that don't have, brand new, that don't have it, that do have it. I wonder if that's just like on a store-to-store basis, or how some of those came with it. And there we've got the instructions. They look to be brand new. Like, it's got a crease in it. It doesn't look like it's really ever been looked through, which is pretty cool. So you can see the instructions crisp. I mean, the book, yeah, all the pages are clean. I think that it really wasn't gone through or looked through or used very much. And so some of the warnings here, the epilepsy and the seizures, I think the age limit on it says not to be used under 7 years old or something like that, which I don't know. Maybe it wasn't around long enough to have any cases or reports of virtual boy sickness or something like that. But I like to look at the instructions and see all the details, the pieces, what everything does on it. You got the eye shade, the game pack, the focus slider, the speakers. I don't know. I love looking at the print, instructions, the manuals, all that kind of stuff that comes with a new system or an old one that you get, and it happens to have all the manuals and the inserts. Like I said earlier, that's when you're collecting. I mean, that's ideal. You want everything, or sometimes you're just happy to get it, and even if it doesn't have the manual, well, I can find it, a few bucks here on eBay or there, or it'll pop up at some point. So here, just setting it up, how everything works and goes together, which I definitely needed to know because, like I said, I've never owned one of these, and so I definitely did not want to break it or do any damage to it, or I can just imagine putting it on top of the stand there and having the headpiece or the eyepiece just like fall off the top of it, and it's like, oh, I'm in shambles. Oh no. So definitely checking out the instructions there. I like the picture there. I like the picture of him like looking inside of there. He's like, oh, what do we got going on here? Let me just take a gander at this. And then he's over there on the desk like, I mean, I know the complaint is that it's like, oh, this thing is so uncomfortable, but I mean, check him out over there on the desk, man. That looks like, it looks pretty good to me. I mean, almost like somebody looking down at a cell phone or something like that. We got our necks cranked looking down at our phones all day long. So, I mean, to me, that looked perfectly comfortable, doable. Now, for the period of time that you're able to do that, I don't know. I know that is, that's the gripe about the Virtual Boy is you can't look down on it for more than 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever the duration that you can actually play one of these things without getting seriously injured, injury to your neck. So the pictures look good. By the pictures, I mean, this is looking pretty good. This guy, it looks like he might have cufflinks there in the right hand corner there. This guy might have cufflinks. So, we got a little bit of business with pleasure, like the work day's over, and I'm just gonna play some Virtual Boy here at the desk. I think that one of the pages coming up here, I believe, has the spare parts or like a reorder form or something like that, and it was just like I couldn't believe how cheap. Well, I mean, I guess that's anything now, you can look back and say, oh man, like, look how cheap that was or how inexpensive that was. And now the pieces themselves are just so expensive. Like the eye shade on eBay's, I don't know, like $60 or $80 for just an eye shade. And the stand, I think the stands are kind of prone to cracking, I guess. And so I know there's 3D printed ones or reinforced stands that are supposed to be a lot stronger. But even those, I think, are around like $80 too. So when you get into replacing the parts for this stuff, like, it ain't cheap, or it's not it's not cheap. I mean, it probably adds up to almost, the cost of, I don't know, the headpiece or something like that. But I think like I saw this was pretty cool. The misalignment, it tells you like a little shortcut on the controller there, how to get it aligned. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like, we got the warranty over there too. Oh, man, only 3 months. Not very long. Oh, not very long. What's that additional 3-month limited warranty on the hardware? Oh, wait a minute. Hardware, game pack, and accessory. Yeah, it says over there, if it's hit or dropped, you may have difficulty seeing the screen. Like, seeing the screen, if it's hit or dropped, man, that's probably it for the headpiece or the eyepiece or whatever. I mean, that thing is, it's pretty weighty, man. And so there you have like all the pieces. I always wondered, like, if you called the 1-800 number up there, like, what would it go to if somebody's, like, bought the number or whatever, and it's going to something else now. Or that'd be cool. Like, if you called and the Nintendo's like still like a Nintendo, because the 1-800 numbers are like in all the Nintendo powers and all the stuff like that. But I mean, look at that. The controller, $15.95, man. The eye shade is like, what does it say? It's $350. I mean, this stuff, like, this is awesome. Call it up and still be able to get the pieces. The stand, there's no price. I wonder what the deal with it is with the stand. Maybe you send it in and they just repair it, or maybe there's a clip. I don't know. But like, look at that, man. The manual's like so clean. Like, I really don't even think that it was ever used, honestly. But maybe I'm going to have to try that 1-800 number and see like who answers on the other end, or if it's just I'm sorry, this number's disconnected kind of thing. I think that'd be so cool. All right, so we're going to seal this thing up and finally get a look at this system here. And so I was like glad to see the egg carton holder, the plastic, look at that, the hazy plastic on the eyepiece, the controller plastic. And I thought that the topper piece was in there as well. It's kind of like a cover that goes over that. Yeah. So there's the Duracell like promo. That had to have been in all of them, just to help with probably the protective piece over the system. So I mean, there's an extra game in there, Galactic Pinball, which I believe that I put in at the end here, and I attempted to play with one hand, and while I was trying to record and get some gameplay and use one hand and try to look and see in one of the eyepieces what I was doing. So I think I missed like the ball every single time, except maybe the second or third. So I think like maybe on the second or third to last ball, I finally was able to get those flippers to make some contact with the ball and get a few points before I got game over. Game over. But I was really glad to see all the plastics. You know, when you collect, you're like, does it have the plastics? I gotta know. You know, does it have the plastics? Like the controller, man, it was like super clean. Like I feel like it. I don't know. Was hardly. I didn't see really any scuffs, any no oils. You know, the hand oils. The food or the food oil grease or whatever it is that's usually always on a controller if you buy a used one or something like that. Like I didn't see too much of anything. I did see some in the creases where the shell closes there, or the controller shell closes. But I mean, even the cord, it's still kind of got that like curl to it to where it's not completely straight. So where it hasn't, it hasn't been cheapo batteries. It hasn't been used very much because it's still all coiled up. But those are probably some Dollar Tree or Dollar General batteries there. I won't leave those in. But yeah, it was just real clean, man. I mean, I don't even think I got too much of anything with the wipe off of there. So I was glad to see that. Real shiny, real glossy. And so far, I mean, that's it was looking good. I was happy to get it in my hands in person to look at it. And so I think I grabbed I like to grab. Yes, this is the rituals here. This is the order of operations. We must run the wipe on the up and down the cord until we don't see any dirt or anything like anything like that. Goodness. And so I like to also take toothpicks work really good for getting in the in between the shell there and kind of just running it along the whole perimeter of the controller, and then get all that gunk out of there. That way you don't have to actually pull the controller. Sometimes like an Xbox controller or something like that, you gotta pop it apart and get all that crud out of there. There's the stand for it, and this is where probably the only sign of wear that I could really see on it, and which was like the weak point, I guess, of the stand. You can kind of see it right there through the Nintendo. It's kind of like a hairline crack there. But it didn't, I don't know, it didn't look like it went all the way through. But that was something that I kind of knew ahead of time. Not that this one had the crack, I didn't know that. But I knew that just reading about them and seeing the replacement stands on eBay and stuff, that the Nintendo one was the plastic on there was prone to cracking. Other than that, a little bit of wear on the feet there. The thing was just really, 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 really clean. And so I think it locks. I don't know why. I mean, I guess just the headpiece or the eyepiece, or maybe over tightening. You're afraid to drop it, and so maybe you over tighten right there, where you've got that handle, and it maybe puts too much pressure and cracks the plastic on it. Because you don't want the headset. I mean, you don't want your, the stand. I'd rather have the stand be replaced than the headset. I mean, the headset, that's delicate, and they're all, I guess, prone to one or both of the eyes having not showing any display, or one of them having, I think, vertical or horizontal lines on it too. And I think it's something to do with maybe they glued the ribbons inside the eyepiece or something like that. And I guess the glue just fails after 20 years or however long. I knew just because I saw repair that you could have the cables soldered. And so there's the headpiece. And this thing, I mean, you can see this thing is like immaculate. No scratches, no scuffs. It's just, and there's a game in there. It's just, this thing was like so clean, the plastic on it. My fingerprints are leaving the heat marks on there, but I mean, it was just so, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my goodness, like this thing is, the lenses are not scratched. The service sticker is still there. There's no oils on any of it. So I just really feel like this one wasn't really used at all, which was great. I love when they're pristine. They're hardly any use. Like I said, the Virtual Boys, they just get beat, falling off the stands, or people playing around with just the heads, playing around with just the headset, or it doesn't work, or anything like that. I mean, see all the connections. There's no scuffing. There's no anything really to give any notice that it was even used at all. Wanted to be careful there. Like I said, I know this thing is super old, delicate. I paid like $300 for it. Just don't want to destroy it. And so another good thing when you're collecting is the serial numbers, man. I love when the serial numbers match up. I know it's, some people don't care, but I think it's great when you can pick up something with the box, and the box has a serial number, and the system has a serial number, and you get the trifecta, and the serial numbers match up. Well, no, I guess the trifecta would be getting the original receipt with the serial number on it. Yeah, it's just the serial numbers matched up, which was great. I love that. It's like old cars or something. I always used to see like someone selling an old car, and they're like numbers matching, and I guess the engine matches the number probably stamped on the engine block as well. So this is kind of one of those numbers matching kind of things, which I know some people don't care about. I don't know. It's a bonus, and I do. If I can get one with the matching numbers, then yeah, I'll take the matching. I'll take the matching numbers. So we're just gonna do a little more wiping down. I don't know if I wiped down the headset. The headset or the eyepiece was like immaculate already, so I'm not sure. I probably gave it a wipe down anyways. Wouldn't hurt anything. So the slider up there probably don't, in the focus, probably don't want to fiddle around with that too much or knock it around. I just tried to be extra careful. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I got a little bit of stuff inside of the where the shell connects, the two controller pieces connect. And so I think I had noticed something in there, and so I had to get the toothpick out, and because I like to let's do the cleaning once, let's do it once and let's do it right. I only want to do this one time. But it was just minimal, minimal stuff. I don't know what it was. I didn't see any oils or anything like that on the controller, so I don't think it was like food or any, I don't know, anything like that. Cheeto, Dorito crumbs or whatever, whatever the combination is there when you're playing games. So I'm just going to get this thing set up and give it a quick little testing here. Because it was listed as a working condition and everything. So, but since I let a few months go by, I might be, whether it works or not now, I might be kind of out on eBay on eBay's returns. It's probably like 30 days or maybe 60 days or something like that you have to, if something's not as described or doesn't work and was listed in working condition. So I pretty sure that I'm out of the return window anyway, so it doesn't matter whether it I know it's all, I brought this, if it didn't work, I brought it all upon myself. My negligence, my gross negligence for leaving it out there in the garage unattended. I brought it upon myself. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm out of the return window anyways. But I'm pretty sure he said it was working. But who knows? I mean, it was packed really well as well. So I didn't doubt that it wouldn't start up. Although I did get kind of nervous here when I got everything plugged up and set up, and I believe the power switch is on the controller, and I turned it on and then like nothing happened. I was like, oh yes, a late Christmas present. No, and I think turning it on, I may have heard something, but nothing came up, and I may have pushed a button or something on the controller, and then it fired right up. So I was like, okay. So I haven't had, I guess I'm going to I think I got some gameplay here where I'm going to fire up Mario Tennis and let it play. So I'll have the game sound kind of take over here. And so with that, I just want to say thanks for your time. Thanks for stopping by. And I'll try to get out a few more videos here on a few other collecting videos, collector's editions that I like. And let me know, what do you guys think about the Virtual Boy? You have one. I know that some of the games are like super expensive. Jack Bros, I think, is an Atlas game, and I think it's about $800. And I'm not. So I am interested in Nestor's Funky Bowling, man. That looks like really cool. Nestor from the Nintendo Power Comics. So yeah, just let me know what you guys got, if you have one, if you're interested in one, and get out there, play some games, and don't forget to remember,